I was really into country music, and we recorded a country album.
That was your first.
That was my first
recording.
album a few years ago, and I went over to Europe. I was getting a lot of airplay in Europe,
Wow.
especially in the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, Germany, and then Australia, New Zealand. And I went over, and I had a #1 on the charts in the Netherlands.
Now, how did that come about? You being able to get airplay in Europe? Did you have an agent that
No,
sort of?
that's a God thing, Manny. It really is. I was at a Philly songwriters meeting
Okay.
before I was involved with the Grammys, and I was standing around talking with some people, and they were all talking about their projects, and one of them said, what are you working on, Lee? I said, I just finished an album. Well, what are you doing with it? I said, I don't have a clue. I really don't know. I said, I don't play out a whole lot. I'm not on tour or anything. And somebody said, you ever heard of CD Baby? I said, yeah. He said, well, put it on CD Baby. I said, I happen to know there's like thousands of people on CD Baby.
Yes.
And this guy said, it was like a commercial, just do it. I said, okay. I went home. I put it on CD Baby. The day it was released on CD Baby, it's featured, and then you move down every day because there's hundreds of people. Mm-hmm. A DJ from Sweden, Lars Lundberg, I can't remember, I just can't believe I remember that name after all these years. He sent me a wonderful email, and he compared me to all these other country people that I knew. And I just broke down and I cried. Wow. And he said, send me a copy, I'm going to start playing it. This is way up in Sweden. Wow. Sent him a copy, he started playing it. And I prayed about it and I said, Lord, all right, it's doubtful that anybody else is going to hear this on CD Baby. What do I do? And this thought came into my mind, and I'm sure it was the Holy Spirit. Google his name. Look up his name.
You looked up the DJ's name.
The DJ's name. And all of these sites came up. Websites of independent artists that I didn't know, but they were thanking Lars for playing their music in Sweden.
Wow.
But they were also thanking dozens and dozens of other radio stations throughout Europe. And I thought, well, if Sweden likes me, maybe Germany and Austria and the Netherlands and Belgium, maybe they'll like me too. I copied down on a pad of paper, I still have that pad, copied down every DJ's name. I got in touch with every DJ. Every one of them got back to me. And I said, I'm getting airplay in Sweden. They said, send it over. And these were country stations. I sent it over, and every day I would get home from school, and I would shut the door to my office bedroom. My kids had moved out, and I would get on the computer, and somebody would send me an email. You know, we want to play your music. Send us. So I would go to the post office every other day with a couple CDs, but I kept working it. Well, there's somebody in Germany, there's somebody here, there's somebody there, and it just kept going and going. And every day I would come home, and there would be a few more waiting for me. You know, please send us a copy. So this was really before the age of digital music, and I just sent out CDs, 10, 20, 30, and I'll never forget Easter morning. I got home from church. Well, before church, I checked my my inbox. There were 4 or 5 that said, "Send us your CD," and I had generated all this throughout the month, and that's great. I went down, ate breakfast, came upstairs to put my shirt on to go to church. There were a couple more. Went to church, came back. That was like a bonus day. Easter was my big day.
Wow.
There must have been a dozen or maybe 2 dozen.
So these are like DJs requesting for your music?
But I had contacted them.
Yeah, so you called them.
Well, yeah, I emailed them.
Yeah.
And I told them, I will not bug you with my CD. I said, if you like what you hear, I told them where they could hear it, then I will send you a copy, and every one of them got back to me. And before I knew it, I had 50, 75, 100, 150, and it just kept going and going. And I thought, I've got to turn this into something. And I organized
And all of this was through email, via email.
all through email. I never talked to anybody in person.
Wow.
I put out a call to all those DJs who were playing me. I said, would you like to host me? I'm going to do a radio tour, and I'd like to come over. Actually, at first I said I would just like to do a regular tour. Two DJs that didn't really know each other from two different countries contacted me and said, we'll help you. It got close to my summer vacation because I'm a school teacher, and they both got back to me and they said, we've bitten off more than we can chew. We can't do this. I said, no problem. How about hosting me for a radio tour? And they said yes. So I just got a big map, put some pins in it. Well, on Monday I can be in the Netherlands. On Tuesday maybe I can be in Belgium. On Wednesday I can be in, and I just did that. And I contacted all these, and I set up this 2-week radio, actually 3-week radio tour.
Really?
And got a URail pass, and I forced my wife to go over with me for a little 5-day vacation. My wife went back home, and then I started on this tour with my guitar on my back, and I visited all these radio stations throughout Europe.
Wow.
And I started getting a lot of airplay then because they were hosting me and playing me.
That's incredible.